Everybody and welcome to Let's Build here live from Oak Hill Works. How are we all doing this evening? It is good to get that connection going. That was a bit iffy there. We are obviously having some internet issues. Please do keep me updated to anything that you miss. I hope we are all well. Hello, Becca. I'm struggling with connection on the chat bot now as well. Excellent. That's what we like to see, isn't it? So yes, good evening. Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Glad. I'm exhausted for a day. Not getting a proper connection. So I say, definitely having some issues here. We have had thunderbolts and lightning all day. Very, very frightening. Let's see if we can get the bot to say something. We cannot. The bot does not know we are connected. Right, let's get the bot restarted. Yeah, it's definitely going to be weather issues. I'm going to momentarily drop offline and try changing my network that I'm connected to. Okay, it tells me it's reconnected. Are we back live? It looks like we are back live now, yes. Okay, we are connected to a separate... Excellent. My chatbot has also connected properly. So I think we are a go. Brilliant. So yes, the i3 is back. Let's have a look at what we did last week and see how the transfers are looking. I pause there because I know how the transfers are looking. So yes, the transfers are on there. They have, despite the gloss coat put on the logo before, they are very, very visible back in once they've dried. However, these transfers are on the same transfer paper as I received from Phoenix Labels with their name transfers for the improved engine green logos. For example, my D1 Uckfield. And once that has had the matte varnish over the top, the backing on the transfer has gone away completely. If I get it in just the right light there, you can just see the rectangle around Uckfield. But I really do have to get it in the right light to even be able to see it at all. So I would fully expect, when this gets a coat of matte varnish over the top of it, once it's all done, to have exactly the same result. Thank you for getting all those links posted, Alex. That is much appreciated now that the chatbot is working. So how is everyone tonight? I hope we are well. I hope we've had a nice week. Indeed, Becca, D1. I did think of you as I was picking that up. We could pop it over here and it could stay in shot all night. It is a nice engine, isn't it? Definitely the one you should go for. Especially since the E1's coming out ready to run. You could build the D1, buy the E1. That would be my choice. Wonderful locomotive that is. Hello Max, welcome. How are you this evening? Been a busy week here. Busy weeks are good weeks. I do enjoy a busy week. Yay, more work on the i3. Indeed, Max, doing swell. Had a lot of work ahead of CAD. Oh, interesting. Javier. Thank you. Not a problem, Becca. Not a problem. Still need a terrier. Everyone needs a terrier. Everyone needs a terrier. There's one in Umber on eBay at the minute of the old tool-in-ones. It's at £15.99. If one of you wants to get that, I won't bid against you. So yes, I think we're going to start this evening on the back of the bunker. That seems the ideal place to be working from. Uh-oh, hard lag. Oh dear, that's not good. I don't have anything up on... Oh, there we go. There's a poor connection warning. So yes, the connection is fluctuating. Just one terrier anymore. No, Tom. Anything less than 50 would not be adequate. You know, all 8 of my terriers are different. No 2 are the same. They're a very interesting standard locomotive. Certainly very far from any standard I've ever heard of. So yes, let us get some transfers on the rear of the bunker. Doing well, went shopping for a suit for my mother and on was wedding, super excited for it, may have gotten a bowler hat as well. Bit of inspiration from Alex's gameplays. Excellent, Max. Excellent indeed. I do enjoy a new suit. It's the great thing about standards. There are so many. Indeed. I should put this on the other side so that I've got the transfer under the knife. And then I should spin it round and do the same for this side. Had a good minute of lag. Oh, God, that's not good. So, Javier, we've had some weather issues here, which I believe are what are causing the lag. My internet gets a bit iffy with a bit of light rain. We've had it coming down. Well, I say coming down. It's been going sideways most of the day. Rather hard. We've had thunder and lightning along with it. So yes, all good fun for those cables outside that really don't like getting wet. D1 is taunting me. I think I'll have to go for that. Just the lining that's putting me off. i3 looking very smart. You know what? The lining always used to put me off doing pre-grouping modelling. But with, say, these Umber transfers now, and Ian releasing improved engine green transfers in the new year, lining doesn't have to be difficult. Just a little bit time consuming. I'm not getting that lag that Javier's getting. That's good, Linny. Yes, I may need a railway watch to look like an official member of the railway board from the 40s. Well, get one then, Max. Sideways rain. Ah, Scottish rain. Indeed. Lovely sounding stuff. Yeah, see, I'm not opposed to storms personally, other than the fact they mess with my internet. If they didn't mess with my internet, I'd have no problem with them at all. Especially on a day when I'm streaming. Right then, let's leave that one to soak. Like I said, I'd like to do my D1 to be improved engine green. Where'd you get the underlining from? The underlining is EB Models, which is Ian McCormack. Who sometimes comes to the stream. Obviously, at the minute he is away. But he is a wonderful gent. He also does the etched brass number plates I use on the improved engine green locos. So I'll be getting some cash for Christmas. Have quite a few models I still need to get. Just saying, says I love the iFreeze nicknames. Yeah. I am aware of the iFreeze nickname. I don't believe it's been said on the channel for obvious reasons for those that know it. Yes. I think there may be problems your end as well, Javier. No lag here. Thinking happening. See, chat's going anyway. Not a problem, Becca. Oh, that was an interesting noise from my shoulder there. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I am getting some moments of poor connection here. My internet is running like a Cadillac, sticking like a Beamer. Remember, everyone, after watching, the next easiest way to support the stream is by hitting that like button. And the subscribe button. And the notification bell. Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. Pop back in a minute. Okay, Javier, I hope things get better your end. Let's drop this one into soak. And get this one out and find my brush. To take the lining off. For those that don't know, my aim is to have this project finished before the new year. And as well as this lining, we do have a bit of work on the chassis left to do, as it still needs its con rods on the wheels. Have you tried Ethernet as a backup? Has who tried Ethernet as a backup, Max? Have a partly broken E2. Do you reckon I could bodge it into an i3? I doubt it. They are very, very different sizes. Plus, as I've hopefully shown, this is quite a nice kit to build. Yeah, they are. The E2s are much smaller than these. I don't think you could. You'd need a new boiler, you'd need new tanks, a new chassis. The cab might be okay. You'd need a new bunker. Yeah, I think the cab's the only thing that would be the same, if even that is, to be honest. Well, it may be smoother. Well, Max, unfortunately, my phone doesn't have an Ethernet port because it's a phone. When I am no longer running the streams off my phone, then Ethernet will be an option. But in fact, I'm running off the phone at the minute, so Ethernet's not an option. Okay, thanks for the feedback. Quite hard to get a sense of scale. Well, in that case, let me grab one of my E2s and you can have a look. Apparently during the war, 2 i3s were lent to the Great Western used in services between Worcester and Gloucester. Had no idea any were around here. I did not know that either, Alex, actually. I knew that some had been loaned to the Great Western. I didn't know that's where they'd ended up. Let's do this transfer that's soaking before I get up. But then I will go and grab one of my E2s. They are not far away. And that'll make the sense of scale a bit easier. There we go, that's another transfer on the back. Oh, thanks, that's really helpful. Not a problem. I have 2 E2s, Max. Right, and I return with an E2. Shedded at Worcester for 2 years. Oh, cool. You'll have to have one then, Alex. And I've also grabbed the chassis for the i3. It is indeed quite a size difference, isn't it? So there is the i3 chassis, as you can much different size drivers. It is a huge difference in scale. In fact, look, even the cab wouldn't be any good. So yeah, they are massively different. All part of Garage plan to own the entire loco fleet of the LB&SCR in 4mm scale. Yes, yes it is, Linny. Did you build the E2? If you have that? I did not. This is the old Hornby model. It has just been painted, or, well, sort of painted, sort of temporary transfers in the correct LB&SCR black livery that they wore. definitely on a different scale. Thanks. That's not a problem. Yes, they are the Hornby wheels in there, Max. They are very much still the original Hornby wheels. And that is another one of my X04 powered models with a DCC chip in it, because of course it is. Paint job looks great. Thanks very much. I do appreciate it. I also have an extended tank variant, which was again done from the Hornby model with, I believe, Shire Scenes brass overlays for the tanks. Black looks brown. It is black. Well, it's off black to give it a weathered effect, and it's also very, very dusty. I can't say the E2s see a lot of use, but it is black, lined in red, as per the LB&SCR livery. Ooh, yes, it is. So, you know, as Linny points out, I do genuinely have a plan to model every class the Brighton had when grouping happened. And as far as I'm concerned, that means I need 2 E2s because I need one of each tank variant. So, that is what I've got. Does look like a nice model though. Thank you, Max. Can't wait to see your fleet by the end. Thank you. I have plans to show off some of the fleet in a couple of upcoming videos. So you'll be able to see how I'm doing on that goal in the near future. And I actually think I'm doing quite a good job. I do need to update my list of what I do and don't have. Oh yes, I think I always have pictured them in umber. A couple of them wore umber, but not for very long. But there were a couple that got to wear umber. Hello, A1! Welcome! How are you? It has been a while. I hope you are okay. Afraid you have to go now. Thanks for showing us your great model. Okay, thanks for popping by. Has been great to have you here. And I shall hopefully see you again in the future. Exclamation mark like. No, I don't have a like command. If you want to like the video, you'll have to drop down below and smash that like button. Any updates on the Christmas wagons? There aren't any, Max. It would have been live streams if we had done them. Unfortunately, we did not get a chance. So, something for next year, maybe, Max. Doing fine, how's you? I am doing very well, thank you, A1. It has been a while. I'm hoping it's only school that's been keeping you away, A1. See, the command works only time it's Gary Notbot telling me people to smash the like button. No, Linny. It's Gary Bot 2.0, I'll have you know, that was telling you to smash the like button. If you call me Gary Notbot, I must be doing a very good job of hiding the fact I am actually a chatbot. It's cool. I was going to say maybe next year. It's cool with me, sir. Well, I'm glad it's cool with you because I mean, it sort of is my string, Max. And who knows, by next year I may have my proper Christmas project planned that we discussed, rather than a temporary one like I was going to do this year. Oh, I see a hydration command. Remember, everyone, hydration is important. And hello, Aidan. How are you this evening? It is good to have you here. I hope you are well. Beep boop. Beep boop indeed. On the internet, no one knows you're a chatbot. Until you start doing live streams. Yeah, junior high's pain, but luckily I'll be starting winter break tomorrow. Oh, excellent. Does that mean we can expect to see you in the, now slightly less often than the last time you were there, Alex streams come Tuesday? Well, good, thank you. I'm glad you are good, Aidan. I too am very good, thank you. I have had a nice day of modelling, so it's always a nice way to spend a Sunday. I've even filmed Tuesday's video, so you can see what I've been up to today. By the way, building session's been moved to tomorrow. I'll be working on the Lone Star freight cars and customising them finally. Excellent, Max. I mean, I say I've spent the whole day modelling. I also spent some time making some chocolate truffles. But that is also a good way to spend the day. First bit's to spray with the airbrush tomorrow. Excellent, Max. Hang on, you filmed the video so we can see what you've been up to today before the stream. I have filmed Tuesday's video that shows what I have done earlier today. The stream review video goes up on a Thursday. Ah, yeah, see. See, I do make sense sometimes, Linny. And in fact, this week you can expect a 20+ minute video on Tuesday. It may actually come to a full 25 minutes by the time I've edited it and stuff. It's not often I do videos that long anymore, is it? Hello again, Javier. I hope the internet is behaving for you now. And we are not full of lag. Haven't a clue what happened. It's doing alright so far. Excellent. I'm glad it's doing alright so far. Sometimes these things are just like that, aren't they? Put a bit more water on the brush so I can move this around and get it into place. I have a duster around here somewhere. How have I thrown it all the way over there? Why would I do that? I was about to ask that. How'd filming the video go? Hope it went alright considering what happened the other day. Different video, Max. I have not refilmed that one yet. The internet is just broken. We should switch it off. Good evening, Code Monkey. How are you? We can't be switching the internet off. What would I do for entertainment then? PG stream, remember everyone. And the bot wants you to know I have a Twitter account. It's right, I do have a Twitter account. I use it for promoting the YouTube channel mainly. I don't think I've accidentally retweeted anyone this week. Time to build a new internet. I mean, it's not beyond my abilities to build a new internet. I could do that. I choose not to. Actually have a qualification to the level of building a new internet as well. Back when I was a full-time computer nerd. So yes, there is the corners on the rear of the bunker. Shall obviously have to leave them before we add the straight sections. So if we get this panel's corners on. Oh, and there's Discord and website links, everyone. The Discord is great fun. If you're not already on it, you should be on it. So yes, we are going to do these bunker sides, which I believe were these same corner pieces last time, because I don't think we used them on it, although we could use them on it on at least two sides, so I think we will. Would it have blackjack? Yes, Alex, yes it would. It's the only correct way to build a new anything, isn't it? Flapjacks and cookies. Yeah, that's what he meant. Flapjacks and cookies. Sorry that I haven't ran down a bunch of videos and was about to rename the folder, but all the folders and videos got renamed to the example. It's a laggy Windows 7 computer, just computer issues, that's all. Sounds fun, Max. I say, my issues the other day weren't technical. They were issues with what I was doing rather than technical ones. I messed up, and we'll have to reshoot that video because I messed up. But it's fine because no one knows what video it is or what I was doing. So I just don't have to tell you. Well, it looks like you have a lot of cutting to be done. I mean, I don't need the whole sheet, but yeah, that's certainly one way of putting it, Code Monkey. There is indeed a fair amount of cutting to be done. So, to go back to a conversation from last week, because I did promise an update, I went into club on Monday and I said, well, someone on my stream last night said that they heard from Dave Ellis that he's selling Southeastern Finecast and that Squires are buying it. And I can indeed confirm that is the truth. Southeastern Finecast is being sold to Squires. They are having the workshop as well, so no tooling needs to be moved anywhere. They will be having a full-time member of staff to run Southeastern Finecast. And it will continue to trade under the Southeastern Finecast name. So, hopefully, from our point of view as consumers, we should notice no difference. Oh, indeed, Linny. Oh, yeah, interesting. Does this mean they'll still be working on bringing back the new cast kits too? I believe so, Linny. As obviously that is a joint venture. In fact, Newcast Partners is a separate company to Southeastern Finecast. It is owned by Dave, not by, or, co-owned by Dave, not Southeastern Finecast. I can't think what the guy from Branch Lines, who owns the other half of it, is called. But I see no reason why the new cast kits would stop reappearing. But yeah, it's not saved, Max, because there was never any. It wasn't at risk. It's just being sold. Hoping they'll make ordering easier. That would be nice. I mean, Squires is a model shop, so hopefully they know something about ordering. Do hope this means a better website. Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it, Alex? A better website. Still want to get an i3 kit badly. They are nice kits, plus hope they'll update the tooling as well. There's not why would they update the tooling? There's nothing to update, Max. Unlikely they'll update the tooling much, Max. The kit's probably older than you. The kit's definitely older than Max. When you consider these are originally Will's kits, These are certainly far from modern, but detail-wise, there is no reason to update them. Need an LCDR, SEC, SER, GNRC2, LB&SCR, D1. Glad they are still going to be around. Indeed, Alex, so am I. Going to someone like Squires might give them a bit of a more secure long term. I mean, Dave is well past retirement age now. So, you know, being owned by a model shop that is more likely to change hands safely in the future probably gives them a better chance of continuing to keep going. Obviously, the guys at Squires are reasonably young anyway. Is there a TT i3 somewhere? I'd buy it in a heartbeat. No idea, Max. I don't model TT. Well, to be fair, we've seen kit lines being sold before and then disappearing completely. This is true. No, I just remember Wally assumed only certain products were being passed on. How and why has Dave done this? Because he's, like, in his 80s, I would assume is why, Harry. Squires are a good company. Of all the people to go to, that's a good one. If you wanted to do a mod for the D1 rather than full body, that'd be to convert it to the D1X. That would be interesting. Certainly very interesting. Oh, okay, I'm probably older than me. The tooling stood the test of time, though. Indeed, it could be a good side project. Yes, it could. Good for him, the guys at Squires. Yeah. So Squires are excellent. I get my flux from Squires. I got my big bit of white metal solder from Squires. Various other bits around on the workbench are from Squires. All bought at shows. Everyone has to retire at some point, even if your job is your hobby. Exactly, Alex. Squire certainly make it out to many more shows than Seth ever did. They come up several shows here in Scotland too, so I'll be able to get more kits from them up here. Indeed, Linny, they make it to a lot more shows than South Eastern Finecast did. And again, another thing, you know, with Dave, he comes to Uckfield every year, does both days of the show. He falls asleep behind his stall on a Sunday afternoon. He's knackered. Be nice for him to be able to get a rest. And that's not just a this year thing either. He does that every year for quite a few years now. He's asleep on the Sunday afternoon. Bless him. But yes, so the rumours are true. South Eastern Finecast is being sold to Squires. The club were already aware, as I knew they would be. Ah, that wasn't meant to happen. Oh, the other one's moved as well. That's gone well. There we go. 2 on there. Da, 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 da. Surprised how many younger people are interested in model railways. Why, Max? What's wrong with younger people? What are you trying to say? I'm old? Yeah, if it increases the public view of Seth, it can only be good. Indeed, Alex. Have to clear my workbench first, of course. Obviously, Javier. Obviously, quite a long trip from Glasgow to Bognor, though. Indeed. Indeed it is. When I was looking at his stall at Uckfield, he was happily tucking into a sandwich with a very zen look on his face. Oh, yes. That sounds about right for Dave. Wonderful chap. I shall miss catching up with him each year at Uckfield. But it'll be nice for him to be able to have that break. Right, I think... Yeah, they're going to be slightly too long to do that way. So we'll go back to using these for those. I'm going to need a new set of these transfers. Just for these little corners, you know. Oh, look. The bot says hydration is important. The bot is right. We are 48 minutes in and I'm still on my first full hydration vessel. Fair enough. I do trust Squires more than others, but I just never imagined time moving so quickly. Time moving quickly? I think that Dave's had been doing a South Eastern Finecast since the 80s. Well, I'm young, so I'm only in my 20s. I don't see anything wrong with that, and I love model railways greatly. So are you trying to say me, who's in my 30s, is old then, Max? Is that what you're saying? Oh, and there's a Discord link. Yes, do come join the Discord if you're not there already. We are building up a great community. It is much smaller than other model railway communities online that you may know of. I, of course, won't be mentioning any. But smaller and friendlier than many online model railway communities. The 80s is only 20 years ago. Right? Yeah. I try this one, Lenny. When I point out to people that the 1990s only ended a week ago, people don't believe me that. We are old though, dude. This has been discussed before. Oh, I know, Alex. I know. I'm old enough to know that today's young people are words. They are words. Young people are words. I'm not going to finish my political statement by actually telling you those words. You're not old. I just use the Hamblin's track gauge car. That is rather old. All my track gauge... Yeah, I built all my track gauges though. Surely hand building your track gauges is even older than using Hamblin's ones. And yes, in case you're wondering, all my track made with my hand-built track gauges does work. No, I'm not saying that. It'd be a big hobby. It wouldn't be a big hobby if older people aren't involved as well. They call it the world's greatest hobby for a reason, so I approve that everyone is included. I know you're not saying that, Max. I was winding you up. Also, how big can Squires get? Not long till they're the only stand at smaller shows. You know what, Harry? I'm waiting for the day when there is a show that is just Squires. There's not even any layouts. It's just you go in and there is Squires stand and nothing else. It's going to happen eventually. It must do. I have no idea. I mean, I know that like South East and Finecast don't have a big stall. I think they only take 8 foot of space at Uckfield. But even so, tacking on an extra 8 foot to Squires is quite a lot. So yes, as we approach the end of the first hour, I want to remind everyone that the title of the stream is slightly tongue-in-cheek. We are not intending to finish the i3 today. We do, however, want it finished before the end of the year. That's not a Royal Railway show, that's called a shop. Well, yes, I know that, Code Monkey. And they do have a shop as well, so... I'm not so scattered now as I'm having trouble computing stuff. Max, when you were talking about the kind of slow Windows 7 PC, were you talking about yourself? Are you the slow Windows 7 PC? Oh, look, there's some Patreon and donate links. Thank you for plugging them, Alex. Of course, they do help pay for the projects that appear here on the live stream. The next thing to purchase will be a webcam, actually, rather than a new project. But it will allow me to... as Max points out earlier, it will allow me to use Ethernet and give a better connection, so hopefully less lag. It will allow me to also to get rid of that new Streamlabs watermark. So I do plan on getting one early in the new year. I'm back. Do I miss anything riveting? No, Becca. No, you did not. There has been nothing riveting going on here. Unless you count my revealing that yes, South Eastern Finecast is being sold to Squires. As riveting. You missed some things lining though. No, LOL, I'll take a picture, take a photo later for Discord. I want to remind you, Max, that the Discord is also child friendly. Before you go putting any pictures on there. I'm more like a laggy Windows 95 computer. The wonderful musician I linked to earlier on Discord did a song about Windows 95. It's a Dolly Parton parody. And it's absolutely brilliant. And there we have all the corners on that panel. I think we shall now move on and get the corners on this panel before going back to the rear. I hope SE Finecast don't discontinue any kits. No line dancing or queuing. No, there won't be any discontinued kits from the takeover of South Eastern Finecast. Squires are employing someone to run the company full time, and they are also keeping the existing workshops and toolings and everything, so it shall move on nicely through its new ownership, and we hopefully won't even notice as consumers, other than the fact there'll be someone different to talk to. So yes, let us get some more corners on. Looking fantastic, sir. Thank you, Christopher. Yay, progressionisms. I believe you mean wahey progressionisms, actually, Max. I remember seeing a Dolly Parton parody where she's singing about RS-232 cables. Goodness, remember them. I do remember them, Linny. We are old. Can confirm we are old. I remember RS-232 cables. I bet Max has never even heard of them. Smash like for fantastic work, folks. Yes, please do. We've got 11 people in stream. It'd be great to see 11 people smashing that like button. Ah, my phone just vibrated in my ear. Oh, it was Corbs sending a message on Discord. That has popped up on my screen in front of me on the laptop there. That's why I know. They live to mail another model. Yes. Yes, they do. All right. There we go. So that's a yes, isn't it, Max? You don't know what RS-232 cables are. RS-232 cables and floppy disks. Not just any floppy disks, Linny. 5 1/4 inch floppy disks. Never mind those 3.5 inch ones. 5 1/4. That's the format of the future, that is. For young people out there, a floppy disk is what you would know as a save icon. Someone has to laugh at my jokes. Actually, I watch a lot of old tech videos, so I get old technology. It's not the same as experiencing it. There will come a day where we say, remember the 1/8 inch mini jack. There will, won't there? Especially if Apple have their way. No one will remember mini jacks of any size. I know what floppy disks are. That's good, Max, that you know what floppy disks are. I remember having way too many floppy disks filled with MSTS stuff. I was lucky if you got 2 locos on one disk. 2 locos on one disk? No, that's a lie. I remember downloading aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim and having to take them to my computer. My computer didn't have the internet, so I'd download them on my brother's machine that did have internet, put them on floppy disks, and then take them up to my machine. And I used to have to break up the aircraft files because I couldn't even fit one aircraft on a floppy disk at times. Speak for yourself, we had a copy of WordPerfect on 7.5-inch floppies. Wow. So I had to use them. 5 1/4 bit for my time. No laser discs with the format of the future. Laser discs. Hello, Digger. Welcome. I hope you are good this evening. It is fantastic to see you here. I know, but a video will be as close as I will get. No, Max, you'll have to go to one of these museums of old technology. They do exist. That's the way to experience old technology. At the very least, I've seen a floppy disk. Physically seen one, have you? Yeah? I still sometimes work with equipment that uses floppy disks for saving too. That's the best type of equipment, Code Monkey. Good evening, James. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. And there is the bot plugging the website. Goodness me, I remember floppy disks. See, James, the best people remember floppy disks. I'm always amazed by older computers, tech in general. That's why I'm a fan of the old Triang, which will be getting the TT set for Christmas. Awesome, Max. All I'm hearing here is back in my day. Get off my yard. Darn kids. The Edinburgh Hack Lab has a working Laserdisc player and a collection of films on Laserdisc. That's impressive, Linny. See, GaryBot 3.0 needs a punctuation upgrade. I would expect so. GaryBot 3.0 needs quite a few upgrades. I keep meaning to do them. Very well, thanks. Thank you for the welcome, my friend. No problem at all. I like everyone to be welcome in my streams. As I said, it's fantastic to have you here. A little bit different to Christopher's last night. I am working on lining a locomotive, which the whole locomotive has been built on the live streams. It's a London, Brighton and South Coast Railway I3 class. So Laserdisc, I got BBC Micro with a cassette. Brilliant. BBC Micros are excellent. Could someone explain an 8-track? My mum's car when I was younger had an 8-track. Not sure I could explain one, but it had an 8-track player in it. I know that much. Well, thank you. Excellent. Glad to hear it, James. Have you had an 8-track? Magnetic tape. Used to have one in the car. Thank you, Digger. Triang TT DCC. Does that exist? Anything can be DCC'd, Max. Anything can be DCC'd. I do like the i3. Thank you, James. Yes, but can Triang TT DCC'd still be run on DC? That depends on the chip, Max. Some chips support running on DC. Some do not. It is not down to what loco it is or what scale. It is down to the individual chip. Oh, cool. Be real careful with the scalpel. Oh, yes, I am well aware of the need to be careful with the scalpel. Do not worry about that. If there's anything I'm experienced in, it's knowing I have to be careful with the scalpel. Knowing it and doing it are two different things. I used to have a BBC Micro when I was a nipper. I love the BBC Micros. They are such great machines for entry-level coding, I would say. I mean, no, for it, you know, I'm sure you know what I mean as a gateway into doing computer coding. They are brilliant. I would love to have one again, actually. I say again, I've never actually had one myself. I have used them. There we go. Hope all is well in Garyland. Everything is good in Garyland at the moment. Thank you, James. Yes. I've spent a nice day mostly modelling. I also stopped to do some making of chocolate truffles earlier for the Railway Club's Christmas do tomorrow. So I currently have a kitchen full of chocolate truffles, which is never a bad thing. Anything can be DCC'd, even a kitten. Yes, you can indeed chip a kitten. In fact, I believe they recommend chipping kittens these days. I know my dog had a chip. Okay, depends on the chip, why you DCC it. Aren't all true modelers covered in scars, both physical and mental? This is true, Alex, yes. Computer coding, I think you mean microcomputer. Yeah, maybe I do. I meant coding in general. It certainly helped me develop the skills I now use in coding, which of course I now do modern web languages, so quite different to the stuff on a BBC Micro. Yeah. Making chocolate truffles, how civilised. Indeed, James. I'll tell you, it was quite amusing because when it came up for the club's Christmas do and the list went up of things people could bring, I thought, you know what, I'll make some truffles, bring them along. It'll be great. My chocolate truffles are wonderful. I do enjoy them. And then the other day realised I haven't actually made any for about 2 years. So I spent a good portion of the week reminding myself how to make them and practicing. And so I've had a week of chocolate truffles. My mood approves. My waistline not so much. Black and white imaging. What about black and white imaging, Max? I'm sure I'm missing something here. Come on, transfer. There we go. Come on, I know you're free now. There we go. One model kit once scarred me in both ways. Ship kit wouldn't fit together, rage, threw it at the wall, mask flew back, cut my forehead. Ah! Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Don't throw kits at walls, Alex. I have said this before. Kits, walls, high speeds. These things do not mix. A week of chocolate truffles seems to be a very civilised sort of week. Oh, it's been a fantastic week. I'm probably going to end up making loads more batches to take round to my mum's and stuff on Christmas Day and Boxing Day for that matter. Is that Decalfix you're using? It is not. I should use Decalfix really, but I don't have any. So we are just on slightly warm water. Oh, just talking websites and old computery stuff. Oh, computers weren't black and white, they were black and green. Or green and dark green. Ouch, Alice, exactly, dear. Ouch. Well, they should do what they're designed to do. No, don't be silly. The original BBC site from the 80s, which I saw on an old computer tutorial from 1984, still related to computer, I hope. I think you'll find the BBC didn't have a website in the 1980s, Max. And please, don't question me on that. Just take my word for it. They really didn't. They should indeed, Alex. We shouldn't have to file and feel and manipulate them. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful if that was the case? Wouldn't that be absolutely wonderful? This kit's got plenty of filler in it. And in some cases, solder acting as filler. And this, of course, is why I said earlier we should have the weight pressing down over the transfer itself. I wish computers looked like computers from Aliens that look advanced for their time, but now it's seriously dated. Needs must always have Miller put on hand. Yes, yes indeed. I personally have a tube of Revell Plasto on hand at all times. As in fact, that was the first one I used and it worked well, so I stuck with it. Quite simply. No brand loyalty as such, just I know it works, so I use it. Must have been something else then. Let me try and find that old computer show again and post him to work chatter if you're alright with that, if I can find it. Just trust me, Max, it's not a website if it came from 1984. You're probably thinking of something like Teletext, because that would have been around in 1984. Indeed, James, hydration is important and we are seriously lacking on it today. I know the computer was hooked up to a TV. It could have just been the computer screen. It could have just been how it displayed. But as the World Wide Web wasn't as Tim Berners-Lee didn't invent the World Wide Web until 1989, the BBC didn't have a website in 1984. Lacking hydration, dearie me. Indeed, James, that is actually only the first hydration vessel worth of hydration for the duration of the stream. I'm sure I've normally refilled by this time. Oh wow, teletext, I missed that. Oh yeah, teletext was great. Teletext, waiting 7 minutes for the screen to finish cycling, which somehow was still faster than dial-up. It was, wasn't it? I remember it so well, indeed. It's BBC teletext, it was called CFATs. Oh, I remember checking share prices on it. Yes, indeed, CFAX was the BBC's teletext, and it was great. And there's a Patreon link from the bot. Goodness me, hydration. Hydration spam. I think Glacial Drift is faster than dial-up. Yeah, I think it probably is. Although there was a time when Max sat in a stream telling me how jealous he was of the fact that I had experienced a dial-up and how he wanted to get dial-up. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would be jealous of that. I'm jealous of people that haven't experienced it. I remember CFAT's and Oracle. Oh yes, James, Oracle 2, well remembered. Yes. God, old technology. I do enjoy it. Sync, transfer, sync. And let's get this bit of backing paper out of there as well. And whilst we let them soak for a second longer, I am going to refill the hydration vessel. Yeah, seriously, Alex. Max was jealous of me for having experienced dial-up. Dial-up was terrible compared to ADSL, but still better than no internet. Well, yes, there is that to it. I remember back in dial-up days when I used to think twice about downloading something that was 5 meg. Oh, that's going to take quite a while to download. 5 meg? I don't know if I'll get that. Get off the internet, I need to use the phone. It's taking me 2 hours to open the page. Oh, yes. Unless you were really posh and got a second phone line. I wasn't. Well, the good thing about dial-up was you could essentially have it for free. Just because of the amount of discs AOL used to send through the door. Well, I'm going to use the internet. No, I'm expecting a phone call. I'm nostalgic about many things. Dial-up is not one of them. Yeah. I am definitely not nostalgic about dial-up. There were many great things to being a child in the 90s. Dial-up was not one of them. Actually, now that I mention it, I'm struggling to think of what were. Oh, this one's quite stubborn, isn't it? It's AOL discs. Oh god, the AOL discs. Street was paved with AOL CDs. Weren't all streets paved with AOL CDs for a while? Council realised they could save money. Who needs to replace paving slabs when you can just put AOL CDs down? There's so many spares. So someone has to laugh at my jokes, because I'm sure you lot are. There we go, we're almost ready to go back round to the back. No, don't fall upside down, that's not what we want. There we go, right way up. As I pointed out earlier, for those that missed it, although there is a lot of the backing showing through with these transfers, they are printed on the same transfer paper that is used by Phoenix labels, precision labels, sorry, for the transfers I use for the names on my Improved Engine Green logos. And as you can see, once it's got a bit of matte varnish over it, the backing paper just disappears. You cannot see it unless I get it in a very, very specific lighting position. It is just completely invisible. So, the fact that it looks like that at the moment is not a problem, because when it gets a spray of varnish, that'll all go away. I know it makes us sound old, but genuinely people don't know how lucky they are with the internet these days. Oh, indeed, Alex. And we are old, so, you know, there's always that. Oh, my fireman's fallen over. Come here, Mr. Fireman. Can't have you falling over. We'll put you back in later. Because right now, these ones at the back, focus here camera, there we go, should be dry enough that we can start putting the lining across the back. Yes. The dial-up was dreadfully pedestrian. Yes, that is certainly one way of putting it. You are not wrong there. So, for those that didn't see how we did this last week, we have some long bits of straight lining. Oh, well, that was silly, wasn't it? Never mind, what a shame. We'll be cutting it down anyway. It was awful. There we go, BBC Microcomputer sent through Twitter by another old computer techie guy. Have you printed the transfers or bought them in? They are bought in. They are from EB Models. which is a company owned by a wonderful man named Ian McCormack, who, when he is not on his holidays or otherwise occupied, does come along to our streams on a Sunday night. He's a wonderful chap. As well as making things like that, he makes etched brass kits, and also these etched brass number plates on my locos are made by him. Come on, let's get some focus and we can see how great that looks, because these are completely readable, and in fact the works plates on the front of this loco were etched by him as well. Again, completely readable in 4mm scale. He is a wonderful chap. I would like to remind everyone I am not sponsored by Ian. Because I know what YouTube can get like for... Well, in fact, it's not even YouTube. It's British law does not like you not declaring that you're sponsored. You can get in lots of trouble for that. So there, we're just going to put a slight... Oh dear, don't drop it. I'm going to put a nick in it there. Didn't expect to actually lift the transfer up with that. I can then use that nick to cut it to length. Drop that in there. For some reason I actually enjoy the old dial-up modem sound. That's what... For people that experience dial-up, Max, that is the sound of PTSD. Splendid. Indeed, they are splendid. Dig up. That's fab. Thank you, Max. So, BBC microcomputer sent through Twitter by another old computer techie guy. You know Ian isn't going to sue you. No, it wouldn't be Ian that has the ability to sue me, though. It's the Advertising Standards Agency. They've actually recently got a load of celebrities for it on Instagram, which I thought quite amusing, and they were fined 5-digit amounts. So, Max... I saw your message come through Twitter, and I'm just going to ask why. There we go, that's the right size for the side as well. So there we go, tearing it works out okay. Oh, oof, yeah, indeed, oof. But yeah, why have you sent me a BBC Micro through Twitter? I know what a BBC Micro is, Max. I've used one. Yes, I am loading up Twitter. It's relevant to the discussion. So it's a review of a BBC Micro that you've sent me. Again, why? I have used one. It's a convenient space here because in fact the cab is full height. So my thumb just fits in there nicely to keep it held upright. Yes. Yes, but why? Why is the question, Max? Yes is not the answer. Didn't know you'd used one. Oops. Yes, Max, because as we've already established, I'm old. actually mentioned it earlier on the stream. You call these things old technology, I call them childhood. And there we go, one bit of lining across the top. Hello Luke, what a great way to introduce yourself to the stream. I'm not singing it, I can't do that voice any justice, so I'm not going to try. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Remember kids, hydration is important. Okay, Garybot, hydration is important. Back to the trains. Fantastic progress tonight, sir. Thank you, Christopher. I do approve. We are now at the halfway point of the stream. Bit forgetful, that's all. We all get forgetful occasionally. I'll let you off. But just remember, computers is my thing, so chances are I have used them, if you know of them. Or at least been close to one. In some cases, owned them. I used to have a pair of Apple IIs until my mum disposed of them when I moved out. These old computers, they're just junk. Not quite, Mother. They are reasonably valuable. Random, but I've been buying some models today, needed something to cheer myself up, although not railway related ones, as a clue to what if you know where to look. Well, I don't know where to look, so you should tell me. You should definitely tell me, Alex. Oh, Luke Bolton's. That's not good. I'm glad you are good, Luke. Not Warhammer. I killed my Gauge Master decoder earlier, but the N7 actually works properly now. Bad about killing the decoder. Yay for the N7 working. Thanks. Okay, that's cool. Not a problem, Matt. Computers, what are those, Gary? They're what I'm reading your comments off, Luke. I'm still trying to work out this auto-frog problem. Yeah. Still not. Oh god. No, never mind. No luck. It's got even more confusing today. So yes, as Christopher brings up his auto-frog problem, does anyone have any projects on the go this evening? Am I background noising your modelling? Because I'll tell you what, I do love background noise in your modelling. The clue is on Twitter. Car. Didn't even realise you'd posted anything to Twitter today. I've been so busy, I've not looked at it. Other than the occasional message from Christopher. Oh, and of course my posts, but I've not actually looked personally. I'll be having dinner within the next hour. Lasagna, homemade. The dough was store-bought. Tempting to make some with Don at some point. That is scratch-made. Oh, very nice. I do love me a homemade lasagna. More planning. Planning is good. Planning is good, Mr. Mole. Planning and plotting and plotting and planning. We'll cut the next bit off as well and dip that in there. Not done much modelling these last 2 weeks. Been building a new computer. I'm now relaxing after hosting a tea party yesterday and playing City Skylines. Oh, very nice. Very nice indeed, James. It has been a while since I have played City Skylines. Great game. Not a tweet, I'll leave it at that. Okay then, I know what I'm looking for in that case, Alex. I shall check it out later. I mean, so far, with you on my laptop, I've painted signal box roof, tidied some line on my radio, painted an os, weathered a wagon. Very nice. Very nice, Linny. It is good to hear people getting on. No, I'm actually sat in bed watching this on my laptop. I'm an old codger, so it's late for me. Fair enough. I say it's not too bad for me at this time. The tiredness does usually start to get to me about 11:30. No, and it worked today. We're now back to last night's condition. It's very strange, Christopher. It is very strange indeed. I agree with Luke there with the nice at James Pets. I do have another idea though. Excellent for ideas. Don't know what I'm looking for, Alex. Yay, Gary now on iPad. Ugh, I'm on an iPad. I feel dirty. Don't worry, Linny. When I actually get the models, all will be revealed. Yes, my Midland Red bus collection went up by 1 today. Yay, extra bus. By the way, Rainbow Loom bands have been acquired as drive bands for the Marks engines. Really happy to have that model running soon. Oh, that's a clever idea, Max. I'd not thought of that. That's a very clever idea for stuff like that. Yes. Good plan. Right, I'm going to try holding this in place with ease again. There we go. Ah, and there goes the phone vibrating right in my ear again. So when I'm working up close like this, my head is generally right next to the phone. And because I obviously can't disconnect its Wi-Fi, etc., it does have an insistence. And when people post on Discord, which is what it was, it goes off in my ear. And there is another bit of the lining done. Ooh, middle red, the rest one. Nice, Alex. I know what it is. Trying to work out the best way to fit DCC to my Y3. The decoder, I had in it before, went to the N7. I'm thinking of fitting a 6-pin socket and then a 6-pin decoder or hardwiring something. Just sent you Midland Red goodness, LOL. Woo. Like, if there's room to fit a socket, then yes, that's a good idea. I would certainly go that way. I just want to say, very nice, Mr. Mole. Very nice indeed. I know what it is. I couldn't wait. But yeah, if there's room to fit a socket, I would always say fit a socket. Like, it doesn't, because it means if the decoder does ever get fried, then you can change it much easier. It's got a socket in, but you got to be careful what decoder you fit. Oh, really? Do tell. That's intriguing. Luke, do tell. Why do you have to be careful what decoder you fit in it? Now, I'm doing this awkward thing here to improve the visibility, but I don't think it actually is improving the visibility, is it? So my problem, piggybacking off the back of last night's suggestion, is it doesn't work in one direction only till power is applied. Fit a push switch to complete the circuit from the power feed if the engine does stall. Yes. I mean, you could just go all the way and fit... take out the auto frog and fit a toggle switch to the power feeds and switch it manually. But also, after the testing earlier on, I think what you're suggesting there may work. It would be an interesting one to try out. Certainly. And there we are. The rear of the bunker is now lined. And there's a bit of coal. You've got to be careful because there ain't a lot of space between the socket and the cab roof. Ah! That makes sense, Luke. Generally, if there's not a lot of space, I cut the socket out and hardwire. Rainbow Loom bands. That's right. Yeah, I know what you meant with your not original idea comment. So I'd never thought of that, Max. That is a clever one. That is what I will do. That is simpler. It is rather, isn't it? That's Dapole for you. Indeed it is, isn't it? I certainly have other locos where that is a problem. But yeah, my general solution to those problems is cut the socket out and hardwire a decoder, because you can get a decoder of choice in then. So when you consider that the ones I use are not very big, but they still don't fit in a lot of places. Oh, look, there's a donate link and an Instagram link and a Patreon link. The Instagram, of course, provided by the bot itself. The other two provided by Christopher. So thank you very much for that, sir. I do very much appreciate it. There is a nick on there. Thought a 6-pin socket would make more space, as those can lay flat and the coder can sit flat too. Honestly, it depends on the space. Like, if there's the space to do it, then yeah, go for it. So my solution is generally to cut the socket out if there's tight space like that. You would not believe some of the jobs I've done cutting sockets out and wiring. So it is approaching 11 o'clock. Good evening, Stephen. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Not that you use Instagram. Look, just because I forgot to do it today, Luke, it doesn't mean I don't use Instagram. I look at Instagram, and I've got stuff that I keep meaning to post there. I just never get round to it, so, you know. One day, something might appear there. I've got to do the Oak Hill Christmas card. That'll appear on there when I do that. Yes, Stephen, good evening. Welcome. So I hope you are well. I did investigate your rumour on Monday and can confirm it to most definitely be true. Squires are taking over South Eastern Finecast. They are apparently keeping the workshops, keeping all, you know, obviously all the tooling, everything will be staying, and they are going to employ someone to run it full time. Well enough, can't Liga, did you get to the bottom of the hair I started re-SEF? I did indeed. Yes, it is very much true. Stevening. Very punny, James. Would you like me to do it for you? What, are you offering to run my Instagram account, Luke? Something tells me Oak Hill isn't big enough that it needs a social media manager yet. Interesting. What impact will that have on availability? In theory, none. Yeah, in theory, it will have absolutely no impact on availability. It may, in fact, make things more available, as obviously Squires attend more shows than South Eastern Finecast do. Okay, Gary, new Patreon as long promised. Why, thank you, Christopher. New Patreons are very much appreciated. I'm surprised my phone didn't buzz in my ear to tell me that as well. It usually does. Yes, I'm offering to run your Instagram for you. That's an interesting offer, Luke. We should at least discuss that, I suppose. Our Squire's going to start selling South Eastern Finecast kits at exhibitions. From what I understand, yes. So they are taking over. They are keeping the existing South Eastern Finecast workshops. They are keeping the South Eastern Finecast name. No, that's good to know. The factory remains unchanged. These things go down the tubes when moulds, etc. get passed on to someone who doesn't really have the facilities. Indeed, they do, Stephen. But yes, they are keeping everything as is. I say employing someone to run it full time, rather than them adding to their workload. So that should, at least from my point of view, keep everything running. Also, Squires have a more up-to-date web presence. That's very true. They do, don't they? It would be wonderful to see South Eastern Finecast get a new website. One that actually works for everyone. Yeah, they're keeping the name, so they won't suddenly become Squires kits. They will continue to be South Eastern Finecast kits. What about Newcast partnership with branch lines? I don't know about that one for definite. But obviously Newcast is owned separately to South Eastern Finecast, as Newcast is also, is owned personally by Dave, or his share is owned personally by him, not by South Eastern Finecast. So yes, we are getting there. Oh camera, oh focus my camera. There we go. We are getting there. We have some more panels lined. So I do hope to have this finished before the new year. Ready to move on. Get a couple of smaller projects done, such as a wagon I have from a new manufacturer. And then get on to the South Eastern and Chatham D-Class kit that we have. Assuming they won't have all the kits at an exhibition, and if you can ring up and reserve one. I wouldn't know for definite, Luke. It would be nice if they did. So at the minute, Dave brings all the kits around. He brings every kit to Uckfield, only a couple of each, but he brings the whole range. And he only has an 8-foot stall. Kind of wish that was Hornby Double O and Triang just kept going. Glad that's clarified. Yes, it is. It is nice to know that it's going on into safe hands, isn't it, Stephen? Wagon, woohoo! Yes, an open A actually, Stephen. One of my many open A's. And in fact, the kit in question has already been seen on RM Web. However, I shall do it live and with any luck with the manufacturer in the chat to answer questions. Kind of wish that was Hornby Double O and Triang just kept going in terms of buying out South Eastern Finecast. Well, technically, both those companies did keep going in Open A D299 of Sussex. Indeed, Stephen. Indeed. In fact, look, it's only just out of reach here. So it's been seen on RM Web. It's not under embargo. There it is. But believe it's been seen in that exact form on RM Web. So those that do know should even know what thread it's on and who else has got one. Right now we shall say hydration is important. So yes, that shall be the very next thing we do as a break from locos before getting on with another white metal loco project. D299, you should know what the D299 is, Alex. You are a Midland man. Very common Midland Open, indeed. Very, very common indeed. Am I? News to me. Yes, yes you are, Alex. You've sent me a picture of your collection of books in the past. You're definitely a Midland man. Even if you're currently staying away from it. There we go, got it. Is a Midland man better than a middleman? Definitely, James, definitely. Mr. Mole made piece of scale, couplings again, glad to hear it. 62,000 D29 built, I think that sounds right. But this is where we find out Alex has been Great Western fanboy all this time, he's too scared to tell us. D299 Midland Railway Standard 5 plank goods and mineral wagon 60,000 built 1882 to 1902 single most common item pre-grouping rolling stock accounting for about 5% of all pre-grouping wagons. There we go. Last time I checked I was a London Underground fan, so even YouTube video of it, and 1840s of course. File renaming as fits, that's good Max. And well, yes, you're a fan of those as well, but let's not deny your... I know you're not very in love with the Midland at the moment, but let's not deny your love for it. Yes, I recognise that piece of 3D greenery. My conversion backdating of the Cambrian kit was in response to James waving that around. Indeed it was. That is exactly the kit. This is a test model as per the one James received. I was very grateful to receive one. And in fact knew nothing about the fact I was getting one until it turned up. Unexpected knock at the door with the postman with a parcel one day. I thought, oh, what's this? And it was that wagon. The manufacturer of which having my address for other reasons in the past. I approve of London Underground fans. Indeed, James. And one day Alex is going to make a fantastic London Underground model. Whether he likes it or not. Love me some Ginties. I cannot do without. in terms of Midland region. I don't know. Much better locos on the Midland than the Ginties. Really don't care about the Midland anymore. Learned my mistake there. For now. For now, Alex. There we go, we'll stick that there for now. I'm going to need to cut another bit of lining out off the sheet as we approach the final hour. Ooh, new kits come in the mail. They do sometimes. Oh yes, I'm expecting a mystery parcel too, aren't I? You are, Stephen. I will hopefully get parcels posted out this week. It's been rather busy recently. So you are to expect a mystery parcel at some point. Oh, and there's a donation link from the bot. Wasn't that nice of it? Not a special tank though, is it? Right. Wi-Fi cut out again for a good. Wi-Fi cut out again for a good stretch again. How's the last 10 minutes been? Depends on how far back you went. We've got the lining all round the panels there and there. It is just this bunker side to go. Yes, my future LU layout, not called Aldersgate anymore. Fictional name means I have more freedom. That makes sense, Alex. That does indeed make lots and lots of sense. More freedom is the best type of freedom. I need to send out some parcels. I might wait until New Year. That could be a good idea to wait till New Year, but I want to get all my stuff out pretty sharpish personally. Thanks, not to worry now. I'm afraid I have to skip off to bed. Early start tomorrow. Nice all. Good night, Stephen. Thank you for popping by. It has been good chatting to you. Nice line in. Thank you very much. Much approved. And hopefully the backing will go away the same as it did on the Uckfield name transfer once some final varnish is on. This is the same transfer paper as used for that, so I expect it will. Lovely, thank you, Javier. I do appreciate that. It is, we are coming along very nicely here. If we can get these panels done this week, I think that will be a good amount of progress personally. Of course, I am including the name and ownership in that when I say these. So, yes, I think that would be a good amount of progress towards our goal of having this nice and finished before the year's out. For curiosity's sake, how far along is the Shapeways print? I haven't actually checked it for a couple of days. Javier, I will have to check after stream and let you know. I am rather looking forward to it though. Maybe not as special as the Cadbury tank engine, Christmas Street logo, no pun intended. I believe it was one of my railway butts, need to look for it later. Cadbury had a few logos. They did indeed. But still not a special tank, Max. He's right, Max, it's not, because a special tank was an engine class. They were called the special tank. And in fact, Christopher, I very much approve of the special tank. There is a photo of one of them at London Victoria with some nice Brighton engines alongside. And I mean, how could I not approve of that? Makes sense. Yeah, it does make rather a lot of sense. Is that the pic in my book I was scared to send you? I believe that is the one, yes. It's got a D1 on one line, which has a mix of Craven and Stroudley stock behind it, and an unidentified Stroudley tender engine hidden behind that as well. Sorry chat's got to go, see you all soon. Thank you for coming, Digger, it has been great to have you here. I hope to see you again soon. Good night and sleep well. I'd love a model of the 040 Cadbury Shunter and 00 as a kit, not sure where to find one though. Well, first step to that, Max, would be to find out what class of locomotive you want, and that will help you find a kit. The LNWR made the best tank engines of the Coles. They're not Terriers though, are they, Alex? Sorry, did anyone expect a different comment there? Because if you did, you are obviously new here, and I welcome you to the channel. Thanks for coming. Has anyone heard anything new on the Rapido Model Rail E1? No, not yet. They're getting their whatever it is Great Western thing out the way first. We won't hear anything until that is much, much closer to release. There is currently nothing to hear, which is nice because it means I don't quite have to spend all that money yet. God, I've just kicked the back wall of the workbench and it's nice and solid. I'm glad I had all this out yesterday. I'm quite used to kicking the back of the workbench, kicking the wall at the back of the workbench and it wobbling, because it is very much just standing there wedged between the workbench and the actual wall. There we go. We got it. Nothing yet. I think they'll work on GW Loco first. Yeah, that was what I thought, Lily. Not they are better. No, not true, Christopher. I'll ask around later. I assume you're talking about the Cadbury Loco there, Max. Okay. It's much to be said for a good terrier, but it's not the same as a kitten. But it's Rapido, it's going to be amazing. Sure, that's a Rapido given. Indeed it is. Everything by Rapido is pretty special. Although there might be issues there. When they do arrive though, I'll have to decide IEG or good screen, probably IEG. Both and also Umber. That's my decision. It's going to be a very expensive release, which is why I don't mind them not having any info about it at the minute. But yes, I've just remembered, I do remember hearing that Rapido had ceased work on all their UK prototype stuff. Now, is that only their own stuff they were making of UK prototype, or does that include things like model rails commissions? It was mentioned in one of Rapido's own press updates, but I can't remember what it was. I'm aware Dinky made some packets, Everone about O gauge, but were all die cast. One of them would be splendid to own. Would love to see one in red. Yeah, I'm sure they probably did, and would be nice to own. Pick was in the book Alex put in my direction. Article 1880 roundabouts. The special tanks going to Willesden. That's the one, Christopher. Only need one. Nah, you need 3. If they do the Canuck one, I will get it. Yeah, fair enough. Going to save up for one in each livery. 2 announced, both work the Cranley line, so I'll have them both. Nice. All their own UK prototype stuff, they confirm they're still working on commissions. Excellent. Glad to hear that. Linny, thank you for confirming. If you haven't heard that one before, so things like the gunpowder van are on hold. What UK outline stuff does Rapido make that isn't a commission? A gunpowder van, apparently. Luke? I am very glad it does not include their commissions. Because that could have upset a lot of people. But I suppose for Rapido, that's guaranteed money. And I just realised that at some point tonight, I have knocked the charger out the phone and we're down to 17% battery. We were at 100% when we started. I'm glad I made sure to charge that. I've plugged it back in now, and I'm sure that means it'll get us through to midnight. But if we do go anywhere all of a sudden, that would be why. Oops. No, I only need one, and I don't actually need it as the LB&SCR didn't run on the widened lines. You still need it. It's a Brighton E1. You need one. I mean, look at how pretty my D1 is. And Terriers. Now, imagine you combined a D1 and a Terrier. Because then you get an E1. And, you know, just fantastic. You need lots of them. So that's only I forgot about did the Earth move for you. Yeah, so yes, hopefully this battery lasts, because I know last week, even with the charger plugged in, the battery was slowly going down. How could one not have an E1? Exactly, James. I'm having a D1, no Terrier though. How can you not have a Terrier, Alex? You've already got a Terrier. Do we know why Rapido are suspending work on UK things? We do. I'm going to say what it is, and I want no further discussion afterwards. Because I do know why. And it is a banned topic. But Rapido are suspending because of the economic forecast for the UK They do not see it as a viable future market because of leaving the EU. They just don't think the UK has any potential after that. So that is why I do not want any further discussion on that. That is a statement of fact, not an invite to open a political discussion. Hello, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you this evening? Good to see you. Do not worry about turning up late. It is nice to have you here. The chatbot says hydration is important. So since the message about switches, I've been chanting on effectively 1 point since then with 4 wagons. Not one word, anyone. My band is ready, as is my axe. Thank you, guys. Do just, if anything pops up from anyone, delete the message. I want it gone straight away. No discussion. Let's drop that in the water. Monkey dares to mumble. Found the dinky freight sets with the GER related came with blue 040 red and yellow open wagons. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I'm good, thanks. How are you? I am very well, thank you. I've had I've had most of a day modelling and a bit of making some chocolate, and more chocolate in the world is never a bad thing. 040 looks like a squash ginty. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Agreed. Will do, boss. I was over axe blade. Right. First message, delete it. Second one, time them out. There we go. I'm sure no one's going to be silly enough to do it, though. Your hard work as my moderators is greatly appreciated. Yes, I had to make some chocolate for the Uckfield Model Railway Club Christmas do happening tomorrow night. Yes, Code Monkey, I was in the was play last Sunday. Were you? Which should be a great fun event. The club social events are always good fun, especially since I go to club mainly for the social aspect. Certainly don't go there to do any modelling. I do enough modelling at home. Although I do also sometimes do modelling there, so shh, don't tell anyone. We have a very well behaved chat, luckily. We do indeed, Alex. Hey, St George, I'm not sure if Murmur's play, but go on, went well. Yes, do go on, Christopher. Well, we do generally have a well-behaved chat. You are quite right, Alex. Occasionally have some issues on Discord, though. but I'm sure we shall not have a repeat of them. Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. They used to be done by the youth of the villages during the winter when there's no other work to be done. They would travel to the big houses and taverns and do a short play. Very interesting, Christopher. There's Discord on Discord. There was indeed the other day, James. There very much was indeed. Along with wassailing. Well, yes, but Discord is full of nutters and weirdos. Well, yes. But so is this chat, Alex. I mean, I realise I'm, verbally talking, but I'm still here. Fair enough. Googling lied to me that we don't have those in Scotland, so I've never heard of that before. That would explain why you've never heard of it before. I don't remember the Discord incident. Well, I did instantly delete the message and give said person a rather stern warning. Obviously, I'm not naming any names. And I would expect no one else to. Did I miss the Discord? You did, Alex. Photo of the train set was shown on the Discord server. Oh, cool. I shall check that out after the stream then, Max. Luke, don't worry, it's against the wall. Works chatter. It was in Works chatter. Some new Muppets joined the Discord earlier. Watch out for him. Oh, excellent. That sounds good, Code Monkey. I like that. Yeah, like the one who's cracking nuts with a bench bite. I didn't realise we had another Scotland base. Hello, Code Monkey. Waves from all. I didn't share that, did I? No, you didn't. No. You did know that Code Monkey is from Scotland, Linny. You have previously met on one of Alex's streams. And discussed the fact that you're both from Scotland. That went well. Never mind, the lining's on. And we can stick that back on. There's no hole all the way through, so at this stage of the build that'll be stuck back on with glue. I do drop in here sometimes. You do indeed, Code Monkey, and it is good to have you here. I was very dismayed no one replied to my wassail yesterday, by the way. Well, blah. I don't know the correct response, actually, Christopher. I mean, I do have a memory like one of those things with holes in. Yeah, fair enough. That is a good point, Linny. That is a very good point. Understand why you'd be angry. Stupid mistake on my own. And here was me not going to name you as the culprit, Max. Well done for outing yourself. It was a while ago, I think. It was a little while ago, yeah. But yeah, well done for your outing yourself as the guilty party there, Max. If you'd have said nothing, no one would have known. Oh no, we've moved a bit of the line in. Come on, move that little bit further over. There we go, that got it. Drink ale is the response. Ah, fair enough. I'll try and remember that. But I, much like Linny, also do sort of have a memory like a golf course. In case you're wondering, everyone, golf courses do not have a good memory. They are not known for remembering things. Random bit of brass there. Right, so with those bits done, what we want to do now is make these panels look a bit more like these panels with company emblem and number. People would have found out eventually, Gary. So not necessarily they wouldn't. Drink ale, did the dwarves invent more sailing then? No, I believe the Saxons did. And they did also drink ale. And punch cameras. They punched cameras all the time. Well, if you'd have said nothing, people would not have found out, Max. I think I'm going to have to head to bed, got an early start at work tomorrow. Of course, the long commute from the new flat to work. Yeah, it's going to be a terrible commute, that, isn't it, Linny? Good night. Thank you for popping by. It has been fantastic having you here. Sleep well and enjoy work tomorrow. Remember, not a golf course, one with exactly 18 holes. How do golf courses not have good memories? Golf courses literally have no memory, Luke. Have you ever asked a golf course to remember something for you? I, for one, tend to avoid things... I tend to avoid asking golf courses to remember things. I go for things with a bit more of a ability to remember things, funnily enough. It is a tradition going back to Saxon times, if not way before. See, I got something right. Of course, it's Saxon, so I would know it, wouldn't I? I know. Good, Alex knows as well. Moved within 3 minutes walk of work, for those who don't know. Yes. And the amount of working from home I've been doing recently, I live even closer to work. Probably should poke my head in at the office occasionally. But it's not been needed recently. Oh, because it's an inanimate object. Exactly, Luke. How am I still alive? That's a very good question, Luke. That is a very, very good question indeed. More out of 10 for spelling, though. Well, yes. I'm pretty sure it's not even pronounced inominate. I believe that's how you would pronounce what you've said, what you've spelt there, Luke. Or it's meant to be inanimate. Blah. I can word sometimes. Oh God. You don't want to know what came to my head when I said that. Luckily, it's just a Simpsons reference. Not a good one, though. At least I tried. I mean, you only need the one capital letter there. You don't need the capital T as well, Luke. But more importantly, Luke, the amount of times you've called me out for my spelling, I expect you to be able to spell. And there we go, the correct spelling has appeared. Like that. The colanders and sieves also have no memory. That is also true. Which obviously is why they are the more traditional thing to say we have a memory like, because they don't have one. A lot of people think it's because they're full of holes, but it's not. It's because they have no memory. Oh, and Alex the Mole is posting a hydration update. As well as a Patreon and donate links. And the bot itself wants to promote the Discord. Which I really need to change that message, you know. You British know your humour well. we do. Supper time for me, gotta get going. Okay, thank you for coming, Max. Has been great having you here. Enjoy your lasagna. I'm totally not jealous of it at all. And I shall speak to you most likely tomorrow my time over on the Discord. Swiss cheese too, the holiest of cheeses. Yes. Swiss cheese, again, not known for its memory. Who knew? Of course, I already have. Technically, golf courses don't have holes. The land is just uneven. Night, guys, got to get an early night for session tomorrow. Bye, Max. Yes, good. Have the funds, Max. I wasn't quite expecting that, but okay, I should have been expecting that. And I should have done that one first to counter it. That is all the transfers to get to my targeted completion for this evening. Golf courses don't have holes. Where do I start? I mean, you could start by picking some holes in Luke's argument. That's what I'd do. Damn, a cheese, or someone in the north of England is claiming. That is the question. Certainly a question. The first. Very good, Code Monkey. Very good indeed. Now, I know you're a much bigger transfer, but you do have to come off at some point. This one does not want to shift, does it? There we go. I was going to say, I could see there was places it was lifting. Didn't quite mean to shift you that far. And there we have it, it is loose. Golf courses don't have holes, the land is just uneven. You've said that already, Luke. Luke, just think... Luke, think before speaking. I do not believe that is possible. I mean, the way you're saying that, Alex, I'm wondering if you're thinking before you speak. Suggesting Luke thinks before he speaks. Indeed. Where did you ever get that one from? Oh yeah, right, of course. Yes. Have I said that twice? Yes. And there we go. A company name has appeared on the logo. So now we just need to get the 28 on the centre of the bunker. I'm asking him to for the first time. You know, I'm just amazed you think he has the ability, Alex. We've known him long enough. Okay, maybe I did. You did. Yes, Luke, you did. You're doing well this evening. There's a 2. Let's grab the 8 as well, which is in here upside down. Way. There we go. 28. I mean, I can see why Luke doesn't know he said it twice. Not like the chat can be looked back for it. Hold on. Indeed, Alex. Right, let's clear up some of that water. Just see if we can get a final position on that 8 properly. In fact, that 2 is looking a little bit crooked as well. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 28. We are down to 12% battery on the phone. I have a warning up in front of me for the low battery. We have 20 minutes left. So I believe we are okay. And we should last to the end of the stream, which is nice. So we are next going to do that most scary of things again. And do round the front here on the frames. That was not an easy transfer last week, but we shall do it. He likes the LB&SCR, he clearly can't think. Yeah, I remember someone else liking the LB&SCR, Christopher. So much so they spent a long time building a route on trains for it. I approve of number 28 indeed, James. Number 28 is your pick of number, as it was you that asked for the kit to be done. It felt only right that you should number it, because that's how we operate round these parts. And there we are. It is a splendid choice of kit indeed, James. It is an extremely splendid choice of kit. Looks marvellous. Thank you, Alex. That is much appreciated. Can cut this one down a bit now that it's free of the other transfers and the risk of cutting things because of its funny shape. Even if that bit there did want to be a bit tough. Yes, it was definitely a splendid choice of kit, James. It's certainly kept the stream going quite a while, hasn't it? We could probably knock 9 hours out of the build by not modifying the chassis to take the Triang motor, and by actually having a multimeter when we first needed it. But it has been a very enjoyable long build. Well, now I know that a World War II Worcester layout could have an i3. I mean, I'm not going to model that, but still, yeah, you've got to get one anyway. I know, he was a right idiot. Yes, Christopher, indeed. Certainly has kept you busy. It has, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. And of course it has been a bit of a memory lane project for me as well. A very appropriate one actually as a first kit to show white metal soldering with. Because of course this one here is the first white metal kit I ever built. Ah, it ripped. I'll be honest, that's probably going to make life easier, so I'm not going to get too upset about it. It was built in an evening and is rather different to this one because it is the original wheels and so does not have an etched chassis. It has a cast white metal chassis. July 14th was the first i3 stream. Wow, that's been a while. Thank you for looking that up, Alex. Very cool. Indeed it is. But yes, I say this one is the older solid cast block chassis, which is literally just a case of drop the wheels in. And in fact, I believe these are Hornby wheels on this one, taken from one of their Midland compounds. So we now have 10 minutes to go. And 10% battery. There we go. I like the sound of that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was an easy chassis to build. What I did was I took some ready to run wheels, I popped them off the loco, and I put them into that chassis, and that was done. And unlike this etched chassis, that one is designed for the X04 motor. And that too is just a slot-in job. And there we go. You'd never know I ripped the transfer. I mean, you might do because it's not 100% perfectly lined up, but it is there. So now we just need a bit of this fine transfer to run about the same length as we've got here. Race against time, ominous music intensifies. Exactly. 10%. Hey Alexa, play Jewel of Fate from Star Wars. Excellent. I'd like you to bear in mind that this the speed the battery's dropping at is with the charger plugged in. Not that I really need a new phone or anything, but when running Streamlabs, this phone cannot cope. Perfect. Let's get that in the water. I expect that applying that transfer shall be the last thing for tonight. But it will mean we have gotten this side to the same state as the other side. And we've gotten the back done. So that is actually more work than we managed last week. There is not actually a huge amount of work left to do on this. There's obviously the boiler bands. There is the lining along the footplate. And then that is it. Tonight has cheered me up no end. I am very glad about that, Alex. I must say, I find streaming has the same effect on me. Stupid question, long USB cable. Yeah, very long USB cable. But it's a 5 amp charger, which is what the phone supports, a 5 amp charger. So it should be able to manage the long USB cable. But yes, it is. And I do know the issues that can cause. One day, I shall build that studio I keep promising myself, and I shall have plug sockets within range of where the camera sits, and I won't need a really long USB cables. Charging off works better on shortage one due to fast charge. It does indeed, you are quite right. So I always charge it as fully as possible before stream. We actually had 100% when I started this evening. So that is a plus. But yeah, when I'm actually doing the studio proper, which needs waiting until the shed is built, then there will be plug sockets. You know, the phone will have a plug socket right next to it, essentially. But hopefully by then I shall also have a proper webcam, so woohoo, studio professional stream then. I mean, hopefully you won't tell the difference. Let's face it, Alex, remember that video I took in the room that will be the studio and the amount of echo there was on my voice? So hopefully you won't tell the difference. These wall panels are going into the studio. Built-in shed, how splendid, what sort of construction? Concrete base and a aluminium shed lined out with Celotex for insulation, and then plywood inside that. But the studio shall be in the house still. The shed will just be storage. Take it from me, more equipment equals more things to go wrong. Oh, definitely. It definitely does. Right then, let's get rid of that. And so we have the front of the frame lined. We did it. Interesting. Yeah, I already have the shed, actually. This sat out in the garden waiting for me to put it up, but I need to get a concrete base down first, and I can't do that this time of year now. That time has passed. I unfortunately did not get time over the summer to do it. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, as we have 9% battery left, and I make it very, very close to midnight. I make it 11:57. I'm willing to call that midnight. Although the stream does tell me we've only been going 2 hours 57 minutes. But I do believe we have reached our end point for the night. I think we've made marvellous progress, personally. We have got 2 sides lined. We have got the number and Brighton markings on. We have got the frames lined, and we have got the rear of the bunker lined. We've even sort of repaired there. There is still to do the lining along the frames, because of course the Brighton lined the frames. The lining on the steps, again, of course the Brighton lined the steps. And the boiler bands. Now, I mean, I'm looking at that, and with the progress we're doing, oh, and of course I've got the sides of I've got the cab to line as well. Don't forget about the cab. That will make quite a difference to the sides. But I am looking at that, and that's not a huge amount of work. I do believe we are on track to have this project finished before the end of 2019. And I do think that will be an absolutely fabulous thing to manage to do. Especially now that we're late enough in the year that the Christmas tree is up. So yes, I would like to thank you all for coming. A lovely pair of i3s. Indeed, it is a lovely pair of i3s, James. They do both make me very, very happy. Lovely trio. Yes, the D1 is right. The D1 is going to Uckfield tomorrow. Uckfield will go to Uckfield for the first time. So yes, thank you for coming, everyone. I have had a great time. You have all been awesome, as always. I mean, what else do we expect from you lot by now? You are always awesome. Does the tree have a loop of first radius curves under it? I did consider it, Code Monkey. I did consider it. But that would be some very, very tiny track. So yes. So you are awesome people. I thank you for coming. I've had a great time tonight, and all that is left to say is good night, everybody, and I shall see you next time.